Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending upon where you are joining from. My name is Deepthi Goguri. Welcome to Tech Now Day. I'm a speaker for Tech Now Day. Thank you so much, Jen, Ashley, for giving me this wonderful opportunity for speaking at Tech Now event. So it's really an honor. So thank you so much for that. So welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for taking your valid time for attending this Tech Now Day today. So what are we going to discuss in this session today? We are going to talk about method behind the magic of indexes in SQL Server. So this session is all about diving deep into how indexes work. So there is a lot of content to grab. So hopefully you like it. So let's get started. Before beginning, I would like to thank all of our sponsors. Thank you so much, all of our sponsors, for sponsoring to Tech Now Day. Without your support, this event would not have been possible. A little bit about me. I'm a database administrator with 7 years of experience in managing SQL Server and databases. I'm a Microsoft certified trainer and Microsoft certified solution expert. I did my master's in computer technology at Eastern Illinois University. I do blog for dbanuggets.com. That's my website. And you can contact me on Twitter at dbanuggets. That's my user ID. And down below, that's my email address. I'm very active on Twitter, so it would be an honor to connect with you later. If you have any questions regarding this session later, please do not hesitate to contact me. So what are we going to discuss in this session today? We are going and looking at the dive deep into the query optimizer, how the query optimizer and the SQL Server will use the indexes to get back the data that we need, right? If we run any query, how does the SQL Server use the indexes, and how the inserts, updates, deletes happen to the indexes, and how the data gets inserted into the database pages. All this information, we are going to see this today. So why should we care about internals, right? Internals of the indexes. As the DBAs and developers, we always have several questions in our minds running all around, right? Like, what indexes should we add to the tables, or how many indexes should we add, and what column should we add to the tables, like to the indexes of the tables, like, and if at all there is an execution plan, we regularly see those missing index recommendations, right? So we always have those questions like, should we even go ahead and create those index recommendations? It's not at all a good idea to create those recommendations. And we have all these several questions. So by the end of this session, you'll be able to know answers for all of them. So before going into the indexes, let's see the overview of a page. Inside the SQL Server, the page is the smallest unit where you will store the data of the table, right? So the page is of the size 8 kilobytes in size. So there are 3 components inside every page of the SQL Server. The first component is the page header, and the middle part is the payload part, and the third part is row offset array. The page header is always 96 bytes in size. It contains the page number, the previous page number, the next page number, those kind of information. And in between, the payload part is for the actual data to be stored. The row offset at the bottom of the page is actually the pointer which will actually point to the exact space where the data is actually stored in our page. So the pages inside the SQL Server, there are 2 types of pages. The pages which will actually store the data, and the pages which will have the information about the metadata. That means the data about all the other database pages. So these metadata pages are a GAM page. GAM page meaning Global Allocation Map page. This page will give the information about all other pages, like whether they are in use or whether they are not in use, or if we have space in those pages or not. Those kind of information we get from the GAM page. There is also IAM page, which is known as Index Allocation Map page. This page will actually contains the information about the specific table, like what all pages are belonging to that specific table. So whenever we have to add the page into a table, into an already existing table, or if we create a new table, the GAM page is the one which will go ahead and see whether it have to allocate a new page or not. So in the entire presentation, we are going to see all the pages. They look similar, like the one which you are seeing on the screen right now. So I have put two indicators just to represent the page. The light blue color, this particular indication represents the data page, and this purple color indication represents the index page. So this is how the pages looks like in the SQL Server. Interesting, right? The page number, the previous page number, the next page number is at the header of the page. And the boxes which you are seeing in between, the number 1 to 12, these are the slots where the column data gets stored. And at the bottom, you have the slot array where you have the pointers that will be actually pointing to the data inside our page. Now let's go ahead and create a simple table, DBA nuggets table, with the columns ID, first name, last name, gender, and date of birth. This particular table is a heap table. That means we do not have any clustered index on it. But let's go ahead and create a non-clustered index on the top of this table. Let's go ahead and create a unique non-clustered index on the top of first name and the last name columns for this table. So the data page, we have the page number 11, and the index page, the first page, we have the page number 12. Now, why exactly the page number 11 and page number 12? Why not 1 and 2, right? So as we discussed the IAM pages, these pages will give the information about the metadata, right? So these pages, the IAM pages, are 9 pages, right, for the data file, for the data page. But if you add any index on it, even the IAM page will also have for the index. So the first 9 pages are the IAM pages for the database pages, and for the index page, we have IAM page, page number 10. So the next available unallocated page is the page number 11. So SQL Server went ahead and created the page number 11 for this particular page, data page, and page number 12 for the index page. Now let's go ahead and insert our brand new table with a very first record, al by best. Now, as our data page and the index page, they do not have any values in it, right? So they are pretty empty. So we can insert the data into the database page first. So let's go ahead and insert the data, the record. But when you observe here, the first slot is showing a bigger value, right? The 30, 5 zeros, right? So the first 30 represents the size of the record itself, and the next 5 zeros after the comma shows the bitmap values. That means each zero represents each value of the column. In this particular record, we have 5 values, right? The ID, first name, last name, gender, and the date of birth. So each zero represents each column value. Now, those zeros will be also changing to 1 depending upon if you have any nullable values inside the column. If you have a null value, then that zeros will be converted into 1 depending upon where the nullable value is inside the column. And when you see the row offset on the page number 11, you see the first row offset array shows as 1. At the right side of the database page 11, that 1 is representing the first record. So once we inserted the data inside the database page, we have to also insert those values, the first name and the last name values inside the index, because that's where we created the index on the first name and the last name column, right? Now let's go ahead and insert the data into the index. Now, did you observe something here? We have the pointer to the database page. The 1 represents the file name. The 11 represents the database file name, database page name, page number actually, and the 1 represents the slot array value, which is the 1 as well on the page 11. Now let's go ahead and insert another record, Edith Newton. Now, as we have space on the page number 11, we still can fit in this record. So let's go ahead and insert that. Once we inserted the record into a table, into the database page, let's go ahead and insert that and insert the value into the index as well. We have space in the index, so we have added the edit Newton into the index as well. Let's go ahead and insert another record, Debbie stamp. So we do not have any more space in the database page, page number 11. So SQL Server will go ahead and find the unallocated page from the disk, and it will allocate that page to the table DB nuggets, which is page number 12. So let's grab, which is page number 13. So let's grab that page number 13 into the memory. Now I forgot to mention a point here. Our memory is very little. Just for demonstration purposes, our memory will be only holding 3 pages inside the memory. So whenever we want to grab more pages into the memory, we have to evict the oldest, the least recently used pages out of the cache. Now we added a page number 13. SQL Server added this page because we do not have space on the page number 11. Now on the page number 13, we have to add the pointer to the previous page, which is page number 11. And on the page number 11, we have to add the next page pointer, which is page number 13. Now page number 13 is brand new. We have space in it. So let's go ahead and add that particular record, right? And now as we added the data into the database page, let's go ahead and add that information into the index as well, because we have to maintain the index also, right? So let's go ahead and add that. Now, when you observe here, the Debbie value actually comes in between the Albi and Edith, right? The first names. But SQL Server just cannot go ahead and reorder in the order of the index. It just can't do that. So physically it can't do that. So it have to maintain logically on the slot array. Now when you observe, the first slot array shows 1 and the second slot array is pointing to the ninth slot. The ninth slot is Debbie stamp, which comes in between Albi and Edith. So logically it maintained the order. And the third one will be pointing to the fifth slot, which is Edith, right? Now this is how the database pages looks like. We added the brand new page, page number 13. Now we have 2 database pages and 1 index page, which is page number 12. Now let's go ahead and add another record, Gilbert Goff. Now we have space inside the page number 13. So we have enough space to add a new record. So let's go ahead and add that record, Gilbert Goff, right? Now once we added the data into the database page, we have to also add that into the index page. But we do not have enough space into the index page. Did you observe here? The page number 12 is completely full. Now we have to add a new page to it, right? New page to the index page. Now, in order for us to add a new page, the pages of the indexes will keep increasing, because now if I add a new page, then we have to add in another page to point to this page as well as the new page. So we do not have much space inside the memory. So we have to evict a page which is least recently used, page number 11, as well as page number 13, because we are going to add 2 new pages. I will show you why. So the page number 14 for the index and page number 15 for the index as well. But the page number 14 will be as the leaf level of the index, but the page number 15 will be the root level of the index. We will show that in the diagram later. So page number 14 will be pointing the previous page to the page number 12. And on the page number 12, we will be pointing the next page as page number 14. Let's go ahead and add that index information, Gilbert Goff, into page number 14. But as we inserted the row inside this new page, we should also point out on the page number 15, we will be adding the pointers to the page number 12 as well as the page number 14 onto the page number 15. Now this is how the index look like. the right side diagram you see is the index shape, right? We have added the new page for the page number 12, which is the page number 14. But in order to point out where the page number 12 records are, where the page number 14 records are, we have to build a new root page, which is the page number 15, is the root page for our index. Now let's go ahead and do a very simple select statement. Select star from dbnuggets, where the first name is Edith. Now this is our index and the database page again. So this is the select statement, right? And we already have an index on first name comma last name. So we have to find the name Edith, the first name. So in order to do that, SQL Server can go ahead and use the index, or it can directly scan the page without using the index. But what is beneficial, right, for the SQL Server? Let's see. If the SQL Server use the index, right, it have to go ahead and see first the root page 15, and then based upon the value, it will go ahead and get the page number pointer as well as the slot pointer from the page number 12 of the index, which is the leaf level right now. Then it will go ahead and grab that information from the data page 11, which is like it have to go ahead and grab 3 pages, right? It have to pass through 3 pages. It have to read 3 pages, page number 15 of the index, 12 of the index, and then the database page 11. But instead, if the SQL Server can go ahead and read only the 2 pages of the database pages, directly it can go ahead and scan just 2 pages instead of 3 pages by looping through the index as well as the database pages, right? So it is very beneficial. So SQL Server will think it is better to just scan the table itself. So it will go ahead and scan the table pages, the 11 as well as 13. Now, how does it do that? There is no database page inside the memory. So it have to first grab that page number 11 into the memory, but we do not have here. So it will have to evict the least recently used page out of the memory, which is page number 12. Now it got the page number 11 into the memory. Now it will have to go ahead and grab and check where is the value Edith. Now it has found the value Edith, and we do not know if there are any other edits, right? Because it is completely scanning the table. So it will also have to grab that next page, which is the page number 13 of the database page. It will go ahead and evict the page number 14, grab the page number 13 into the memory, and it will scan the entire page. But it did not find any edit because we just have one edit in this table. That's how the SQL Server chooses the table scan instead of using the index, because it is more resource consuming when compared to just scanning the table. That is the reason it just scanned the table. Now let's go ahead and insert one more record, Becky Wade. Now the database pages, like data pages, are full. So SQL Server have to find an unallocated page from the disk and allocate that page to the table. And it have to grab that page into the memory, right? So we have to evict a page here because we can't fit. Let's evict the page number 15 since it is least recently used. Let's grab the page number, next new page number, which is page number 16. We have to update the pointer for the previous page, which is page number 13. On the page number 13, we have to update the next page, which is page number 16. Now we have a brand new page. We can just go ahead and update that, like insert that record into this database page. Now, as we have inserted the data page here, we have to also insert these first name and the last name values into the index because we have to maintain the index as well, right? So let's go ahead and grab the page number 15 of the index page, right? Why page number 15 of the index? Because that's the root page. We need to know exactly where we have to insert these Becky Wade into the index, right? So let's go ahead and grab the root page of the index, which is page number 15. We do not have space here, so we have to evict the least recently used page, which is page number 11, grab the page number 15, and found where we have to fit in Becky Wade. Becky Wade will have to go to the page number 12 because any value which is less than Gilbert have to go to the page number 12. Now page number 12 is not in the memory. Oh no, we have to grab that page into the memory. For that, we have to evict the page number 13 and then get the page number 12 to the memory. Page number 12, let's see. So in the page number 12, we do not have any value, like we do not have any space to fit in, right? So we have to add a new page into this space. So we need to evict the page number 16 to get that new page. But did you observe something here? To add that Becky Wade, we do not have space. So we added a new page to the index. That means this is called as a page split. Anytime you are trying to insert into the index or update an index or delete or update an index, and you are trying to insert a record, insert those values in the index, and if the index doesn't have any space, then SQL Server will be splitting the page, the index page actually. So whenever this kind of split happens, SQL Server will just go ahead and create a new index page, and it will push all the half of the records from the previous page into the new page. Let's see how it will do that. So it will name the page as page number 17. It will go ahead and update the previous value of the previous page on the page number 17 as page number 12, and on the page number and the next page is of the page number 14, because the previous page is page number 12 and the next page is page number 14, but as we had that page split, we added a new page in between. So we have to recorrect those pointers back and forth. Now half of the data have to move from the page number 12 to the page number 14. So SQL Server will go ahead and move these records to the new page, page number 17. And then later it will have to update the next page value from the page number 12 because it is pointing to the oldest value, page number 14. But because we added the new value, page number 17, let's go ahead and update that to the page number 17. But at the same time, the Becky Wade has now the space to add into this page, right? Into the page number 12. So it will be adding it here. Now, because we have added the Becky Wade, we have to also update that information into the database, into the index page, right? So let's go ahead and do that. On the page number 14, we have to also reorder the pointer because on the page 14, we still having the previous page pointing to the page number 14. But now we have added a between page, right? An intermediate page between both of them, which is page number 17. Now let's go ahead and update that previous page on the page number 14 to page number 17. But once we added this new page in between page number 12 and 14 of the index, we need to also update that information into the root level of the index, right? Because we have added the new pages here. So now we have to grab that root page of the index, which is the page number 15 that we just discarded. Now let's go ahead and evict the page number 17 and get the page number 15 into the memory. And let's add Debbie Stamp to the page number 12, right? Page number 17 pointer we have to add into the root page as well. Now this is how the database pages looks like. We have 3 database pages, but as we add a new page, like there was a page split in between the leaf level of the index, right? We have added page number 17 in between the page number 12 and this, as well as the page number 14. So we still have the root page number 15. Now let's go ahead and insert one more record into the table, K. Morris. Since we do not have any database page inside the memory, let's go ahead and get that by evicting the page number 12. Now we got the page number 16. We still have the space on this database page. So let's go ahead and add the value of K Morris. But once we inserted this record into the database page, we should also insert into the index page, right? So where should we insert this exact K Morris? We do not know. So that is the reason we have to grab that root page of the index to know where we have to fit in K Morris into the index. So page number 15 luckily is in the memory, but and it is pointing to page number 14, right? Because K Morris will come, the first name K will come after the Gilbert, right? So any value greater than Gilbert will have to go to the page number 14. So page number 14 luckily is in the memory. So let's go ahead and update the K Morris inside the page number 14 of the index. Now let's go ahead and do a very simple select statements. Select star from DBA nuggets where first name is K and the last name is Morris. And the other select statement is the same but in reverse order. Select star from DBA nuggets where last name is Morris and the first name is K. When you observe these two statements are exactly the same. Like though the order is different, SQL Server behind the scenes, it will go ahead and reorder the statement in the order of the index. Our index is on the first name, comma last name. So it is not a difficult task for the SQL Server to just go ahead and reorder that in the form of an index order. Now it will go ahead and get that value, the first name K and the last name Morris, by using the index, right? So on the page number 15, the K will be on K Morris. K will come after the Gilbert, right? So we have to contact the page number 14 for the K value. Now when on the page number 14, it's luckily in the memory. The K is pointing out to the file number 1, page number 16, and slot number 2. Now we have to grab the page number 16. Page number 16 is luckily inside the memory. So what is the slot 2 on the page number 16? Slot 2 on the slot array, it is pointing to the seventh slot on the page, right? The seventh slot on the page represents the K Morris. That's how the SQL Server will use the indexes to grab the results for our select statements. Now let's go ahead and insert a different record, but this time this particular Floyd Hibbert, he did not provided the date of birth. Maybe he's not born yet, right? So let's go ahead and see how the null value gets inserted as well. Now here, the database, the data pages is currently full on the page number 16. That means SQL Server should go ahead and allocate the unallocated page to the table. And we have to grab that page into the memory. We do not have space inside the memory. So let's go ahead and evict the page number 15. Grab the new database page. Let's name the page number as 18. Let's go ahead and point the previous page as page number 16. And on the page number 16, let's point the next page as page number 18. Now, as the page number 18 is brand new, let's go ahead and insert that value. But did you observe something here? The slot number 6 is empty, right? And when you observe the bitmap value here, the 30 represents the size of the record itself, and 00001, when you observe, the other records have zeros in it, but this time the last number is 1, because now the nullable value, SQL Server can go ahead and save that space inside the database page by just representing the value, the bitmap value, as 1 for that particular column, right? So that it can save some space. Now, it can save some space. This is the least compression that happens in the SQL Server to save the space actually. So once we inserted this record here, we have to insert the first name and the last name inside the index as well. So to know where to insert Floyd Hebert, we have to get the root page of the index, right? But the root page of the index is not in the memory. Now let's go ahead and get that by evicting page number 14. Now page number 15 is insert the memory, right? And Floyd comes under Debbie. It's greater than the Debbie and less than the Gibbard. So it have to go to the page number 17. Page number 17 is not in the memory, so we have to grab the page number 17 by evicting page number 16. Page number 17 is in the memory and we have some space here, right? So let's go ahead and insert Floyd Hebert into this index. Now this is how our database pages looks like. We just added one data page for the table, and our index looks the same actually. Now let's go ahead and do a select star from DBA Nuggets, where the first name is K and the last name is less than or equal to Morris. How do you think that SQL Server will get this information from? As we have an index on the first name comma last name, SQL Server will just go ahead and find the first name first with the name of K, and then find all the last names which is less than or equal to Morris. Now to find out where that value is, K Morris, we have to first go into the page number 15, right? The root page of the index. So the K Morris will come after the Gilbert. So it should go to the page number 14. Page number 14 is not in the memory, so we have to grab that page number 14, by evicting page number 18, because page number 18 is the least recently used page. So let's go ahead and get that page number 14. Page number 14, we have the value K, which is pointing out to the database page number 16, slot number 2. Now, as the page number 16 is not in the memory, let's go ahead and get the page number 16 into the memory by evicting the least recently used page number 17. Let's get the page number 16 into the memory and go to the slot number 2. Slot number 2 is pointing out to the seventh slot, which is K Morris. That's how SQL Server will go ahead and get that value. Now let's go ahead and see a different one, right? Select star from DBA Nuggets, where the last name is Morris and the first name is a K. As our index is on the first name comma last name, but we are asking here the last name first and the first name as less than or equal to K. Now SQL Server should go ahead and it have to find the first name values, all the values which are less than or equal to K, and then go to the last name Morris. Let's go ahead and see how the SQL Server uses it, like whether it will use the index or whether it will go ahead and scan the table itself. Now the K, right? The K Morris, where is the K Morris? Like the K Morris is the last entry into the table. That means all the values before coming into the, before the K Morris should be scanned now, because in the query we have all the values which have the first name less than or equal to K, right? So if we use the index, then the SQL Server should first interact with the root page of the index 15, go to this page number 12, and inside the page number 12, it have to find the page number, slot number, and then go to the database page number 11, found out the record, and then go back to the index page number 12 again, get the slot number again for the second row, go to the page number 11 again, come to the page number 12 back again, get the slot number for the page number 13, and go back to the page number 13, and then go back to the page number 17 of the index again, and then it have to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, that it will have to do several IO reads, right? The physical reads. It have to go and grab all these data pages into the memory multiple times, which will be like around some thousands of reads. This is just a demo, but in real time, if you think, it have to do some thousands of physical reads, which is not at all good, right? Because it is very IO intensive. Even though if it have to do the so many logical reads unnecessarily by using the index, even that is not a good sign. It will cost so much of resources. But instead, if it is doing, if it have to do, instead of doing the so many physical reads at this particular scenario, it can directly go and scan the entire table, right? There are only 4 pages in it. Now SQL Server decides, let me just go ahead and scan the entire databases, entire table, because it is really easy for me. Instead of going and doing like hundreds and hundreds of physical and the logical reads, let me just go ahead and scan the entire table, which is intelligent, right? Now SQL Server will plan to do the entire table scan. So first it have to grab the page number 11. Now page number 11 is not in the memory, so it have to evict the page number 15 out of the memory, grab the page number 11 and go and scan the entire table, entire page, page of the 11. That means when you observe at the slot array at the bottom of the page 11, the first slot is pointing to the first record. The second slot, it is pointing to the 7th slot, right, for the second record. In that way, it will have to scan each and every page. Next, it have to grab the page number, data page number 13. It will evict the other page and it will grab the page number 13 into the memory, scan all the data here, and then it will evict. The next page is page number 16. So it will have to evict the page number 11. It will also have to scan the page number 16. On the page number 16 is already inside the memory, right? It will also scan that. But for the page number 18, it do not have in the memory. So it will have to evict the page number 11 to get the page number 18. And then it will also scan the page number 18. That's how the SQL Server can get the entire data very quickly by using the table scan. In most of the cases, like if we are expecting the SQL Server to do a index scan or seek, but it is going and doing the table scan, we have to look into why it chosen to do the table scan itself instead of the index scan or seek, right? Because this is the reason. It will have to analyze like how many pages it have to scan if it have to use the index, and how many lookups, reads to the physical reads it have to do, and it will compare that to the table scan. If it fits, scan will be the better table scan, it will just go ahead and do the table scan. So we should be very careful, because whether it have to do the scan or seek, or whether it have to do any lookups, or whether it have to do the table scan, all these operations are depending upon our statistics. If our statistics are not accurate, then SQL Server might take the wrong decisions of what kind of operation it have to do to grab the results. So here on the page number 18, it found the K. On page number 16, it found out the K value, K Morris. It scanned all the pages and it found the value K with the last name as Morris. That's how the SQL Server did the table scan to find this value. Now let's go ahead and insert another record into a table, Hanson Roberts, right? Now Hanson Roberts, we still have the space inside the page number 18. So let's go ahead and insert Hanson Roberts. But as we insert it into the database page, we need to also insert the first name and the last name into the index as well. So where should we go? The root page of the index, which is page number 15, right? So let's discard the page number 13 to get the page number 15. And Hanson Roberts will come under the page number 14 because it is greater than Hilbert, which should go into the page number 14. Page number 14 is not currently in the memory. So the page number 14 should be grabbed into the memory by evicting the page 16. Page 14 is in the memory. We have space inside this page. So SQL Server will go ahead and insert this value into the page, into the index page. Now, did you observe it actually logically ordered these values inside the page number 14? Like when you see the row offset value below the page number 14, the second slot is representing the ninth slot, which is Hanson. Actually, this Hanson should come in between the Gilbert and the K, right? But that's how the logically SQL Server will go ahead and logically order in the index order actually. Now this is how the database pages looks like. We have 4 database pages and we still have 4 index pages. Now let's go ahead and insert one more record into a table, DBA Nuggets, Christy Preston. So Christy Preston can't get inserted into page number 18 because we just don't have enough space. We just have one slot of space that is for the nullable value record we have inserted previously, right? The date of birth column is null. So we just have some space here, but we can't fit the entire row. So SQL Server has to go ahead and add a different page, new page to the table. We have to evict the page number 15 to get that new page number 19. On the page number 19, let's go ahead and put the record, the pointer, the previous pointer, page number 18. Sorry about that. Page number 18. On the page number 18, let's go ahead and point the next page, page number 19. Now, as this is a brand new page, let's go ahead and insert the data, Christy Preston, right? And as we inserted, we should also insert the data into the index as well. So let's evict the page number 14, get the page number 15 to know where to put the Christy Preston, right? So Christy Preston have to go into the page number 12, which is above the Albie and below the Debbie, right? So it should go to the page number 12. Page number 12 is not in the memory. Let's go ahead and get that by evicting page number 18. Page number 12 is in the memory right now. So let's go ahead and insert that value, Christy Preston, into page number 12. Now this is how our database pages look like. We added one more database page, but our index looks the same, 4 pages. Now let's go ahead and select first name, comma, last name from DBA Nuggets, order by the first name, comma, last name. This is pretty straightforward, right? Because our index is on the first name, comma, last name. SQL Server doesn't have to go ahead and grab the database pages into the memory to do this job. It doesn't have to touch the disk subsystem. All it have to use is use the index pages to do this because our index is on the top of first name, comma, last name. SQL Server will just go ahead and get that information from the leaf level of the index pages. Now, to get that information, SQL Server should know it will grab the page number 15, which is already in the memory. It will go ahead and scan each and every record. It will first go ahead and see the first name because we are getting all of them, right? So it will go ahead and scan all of them here. And then it will go ahead to the 12th page, which is the index page, which is actually the leaf level of the index, right? So it will go ahead and grab the pages, on all of these slots. And then there is another page on the index, right? The page number 17. So to get that, we have to evict the page number 19, get the page number 17, and also scan all of these values in the first name and the last name values from the index. Now we have to, we do not have space here. So let's go ahead and evict the page number 15 to grab the page number 14. Even the page number 14 is the leaf level of the index, right? So let's go ahead and scan all of these records here to get that information. Select last name, first name, comma, last name, order by first name, comma, last name. Very simple. It did not touch the database pages itself. Now let's go ahead and insert one more record, Judy Acosta. Here we have 5 pages in it, and index page we have 4 pages in it. To insert Judy Acosta into the database page, we do not have database page inside the memory. So let's go ahead and evict the page 12 to get that database page, page number 19. We have space on the page number 19. So let's go ahead and insert Judy Acosta, right? But we have to also insert the values into the index. So we have to evict this page, page number 17, to get that root node of the index, which is page number 15. Now page number 15 is inside the memory, and Judy Acosta will come after the Gilbert. So it should go to the page number 14. So page number 14 is already inside the memory. So it's already inside the memory, but did you observe here? Page number 14, we cannot fit this Judy Acosta into the page number 14 because page number 14 is already full. So what SQL Server will do? It will have to split the page. Split the page meaning it will create a new index page and grab half of the content from the previous page, page number 14, and it will put on the new page, which we generate here. So let's go ahead and grab the new page that got created for the index. Let's go ahead and evict page number 19, grab the new page to the index, page number 20, and update the previous page value, which is page number 14. And on the page number 14, let's go ahead and update the next page, which is page number 20. Grab half of the data from the page number 14, put in the page number 20. Now we have space. As we added a new page that we discussed earlier, right? Whenever we add a new page to the index, we need to also update that information to the root page, right? But here, if you observe, the page number 15 is the root page now, right? But it is already full, so we need to split that page as well. So when we split this page, there will be a new page, which is, let's evict the page number 14. Once we evicted the page number 14, we got a new page because the page number 15 will be split now. Splitting meaning it will create a new page, move half of the data from the page number 15 to page number 21. Now the page number 21 will have to update its previous page value, which is 15. On the page number 15, the next page should be updated, which is page number 21. Half of the data will be grabbed and put it in the page number 21. And now, once the page number 21 is formed, we do not have a root page anymore, right? Because we even split the root page. Now there should be a new root page that should be generated so that that root page can be pointed to the page number 15 and page number 21. So to do that, we have to create a new page. So we have to evict the page number 20, which is already in memory. Let's go ahead and get a new page for the index. This is the root page, page number 22. And let's go ahead and insert the values into the page number 22, which will actually point to the page number 15 and page number 21. Now, the root page is page number 22 for the index, and the intermediate pages are page number 15 and page number 21. This is how our index look like now. Since before we have page number 15 as the root level, right? But now we do not have any root level on the page number 15 because we have split that page into page number 21. And for both the pages, 15 and 21 page, we need to add a new root page, which is 22, which will actually have the pointers to the page number 15 and page number 21. Now, this index looks, it's a B-tree structure, but if you see the balance between them, they don't have the exact balance, right? Because page number 15 is pointing to 3 pages, page number 21 is pointing to just 1 page. B-tree meaning it's not the balance, they say the balance tree, right? The balance meaning the leaf level of the index should always be on the same level. That is what the meaning is. Now let's go ahead and do the select last name from the DBA nuggets, order by the first name Judy, and the ID is equal to 5. Now we have to search for the Judy. We are going to use the index. To get that, the root page 22, Judy is pointing to the page number 21. Luckily, we have the page number 21 in the memory. Judy is pointing to the page number 20. And page number 20 is not in the memory, so we have to evict the page number 15, get the page number 20 to the memory, and the Judy is pointing out to the page number 19, slot 2. Luckily, we have the page number 19 inside the memory, and the slot 2 is pointing out to the 7th slot, which is Judy Acosta. But we were asking where the first name is Judy with an ID of 5, but here we have 10, right? So SQL Server will not get any values because it's asking for 5. So we have done so much of search, we have passed through the indexes to find no records, right? Now, until now, our table is a heap table. It did not have the clustered index. Now let's go ahead and create a clustered index with a ID clustered index key on ID column. Now, if we add a clustered index on the table, clustered index will also have the same structure as the non-clustered index, the B-tree structure. But inside the index, the clustered index, we have the intermediate levels and the leaf and the root levels. Here, the intermediate levels of the clustered index are page number 23 and page number 24. And the root level of the clustered index is the page number 25. But when you observe the intermediate levels, 23 and 24, they do not point out to the page numbers and the slot numbers, but they only have the ID value, the clustered index key value, and a pointer to the page where we have that ID record. And when you observe the root level simply points out to the page number 23 and 24 because these two are the intermediate levels of the clustered index key. Now, how does our data itself look like after we added the clustered index, right? It will be ordered in the ordered by the clustered index key, which is ID. This ID, from the beginning, they were already ordered by the IDs. Now, this is how the leaf levels of the clustered index look like, which is the data itself in the ordered way, ordered by the clustered index key. Now, this is how our now clustered index look like, the left side. We have the root page, which will just point the clustered index key to two different intermediate pages, page number 23 and page number 24. These intermediate pages, 23 and 24, will just have the clustered index key value and a pointer to the page where that clustered index key is located. But there is a small change in the non-clustered index when you add a clustered index to the table. Now, what is the difference, right? Instead of pointing to the page number, the file number, page number, and a slot number, once you add the clustered index, non-clustered index will not point to the slot numbers anymore. It will go ahead and point to the clustered index key, which is on the ID column. When you observe here, the light blue color numbers, those are the clustered index key, and these pages are the non-clustered index leaf pages. 12, page number 12, 14, 17, 20, 15, 21. These are all the non-clustered index leaf pages and intermediate pages and the intermediate pages. Now, what we have seen in the summary of this indexes session, right? We have dived deep into the query optimizer to know how the SQL Server will use to get back the data. We have seen several examples like inserts, and then we have inserted null values, and we have seen how they get stored, and we have seen how the data gets inserted into the database pages as well as the index pages, how the SQL Server will use these indexes to grab the results. So for the resources, I have used many resources to do this presentation. If you wanted to know more about these indexes and internals, please follow these resources. I would like to thank TechNow Day. Thank you so much for giving me this wonderful opportunity to present for the TechNow Day. Thank you, Jen Ashley, one more time. And thank you all the organizers, sponsors, and attendees for attending TechNow Day event, and enjoy the rest of the sessions. Thank you so much.